Accidental health. Is that a true reality? Let's get into this. Dr. Robert Cassar, eartheracademy.com. Is accidental health, is that a reality? Just think about that for a sec. Okay, can you have accidental health? And I'm just talking about you do anything you want. You don't have to look into anything that you find out is not good for you. Okay, touching fuel, breathing fumes, eating the wrong plants. Okay, remember, accidental health. Do you think it's just an accident to get healthy? Think about that. So, accidental health at this time, right now, is pretty much impossible unless you live away from all the chemicals that are being used just for agriculture. You're not eating those types of foods that are, well, we know that aren't good for us. I don't care if it's GMOs, doesn't matter if it's drinking sodas. Okay, remember, accidental health. So it takes a lot of work to stay healthy in a world that's very toxic. A lot of work. And a lot of work in the beginning is not necessary. Is because when your body's young, you can pretty much do a lot of things, and your body is, remember, very resilient. When you poison yourself, when you get infected, when you get any type of sickness, okay? But as you get older, remember, you're accumulating a little by little. You're just eating anything. You have the seafood diet. Remember, you don't have any idea about you're touching gasoline and diesel, putting, remember, makeup on your face, fake up on your face. You have no idea of the poisons that you're putting onto yourself, spraying yourself with synthetic fragrance perfumes, okay? With isopropyl alcohols and all different types of alcohols going directly into your body. Think of it, you put a spray of Eau de Toilette on you and you wonder, okay, yeah, maybe you smell good if you're in the matrix, but anybody I smell that's got that stuff on them, I just know that you're just putting chemical poisons on you, and I don't want to smell those estrogenic fragrances. Okay, so there's so many chemicals that are in these perfumes too. Just to get on this point, remember, accidental health is not accidental. Okay, you got to really put in the time. But I used to have a patent. It was a fuel reformulator, and we'd send it all over the place for people to be able to test it, right? You'd put this non-toxic ester, and I own the patents to it, into your fuel, any type of fuel, diesel fuel, gasoline fuel, LPG fuel, natural gas, doesn't matter. Okay, put it in your oil. You'd put it with any type of fuel there is, and it would go ahead and actually clean up the exhaust coming out of your pipe because of the coconut esters that we're using, low molecular, high molecular coconut esters. But anyways, we'd send the stuff out, and of course I couldn't put it in any of the systems that I wanted to put it in, is because they won't allow it. It's because that's not this system here. But anyways, to get off that track, I used to send it to, well, just like I sent it to Japan. I sent 20 barrels, 55-gallon barrels of my product over there. And these are non-toxic esters made from coconut oils, right? And you add these to your fuel, and your fuel is supercharged. Okay, the exhaust emissions cut down by 70, 80, 90% in a lot of different tests that were done by a lot of different companies, okay, around the world over time. But anyways, I'd send this stuff out there, and what I would do is, because I don't want them to do spectral analysis to go ahead and find it, because they're not interested in doing business with me since I own the patents. Remember, they're interested in finding out how to make what I have and do it themselves. Patent or no patent, it doesn't matter, right? So I sent over 20 barrels over to Japan, right? And what we did was we put in an ounce. I went to the swap meet and bought a bunch of cheap perfume, okay? And it doesn't matter what, if it's expensive or not, it's chemical perfume. And what I did was I put an ounce of the perfume and mixed it up in each 55-gallon drum. So when they did a spectral analysis, what do you think happened? They saw all the chemicals that are in that perfume, and they couldn't figure it out. Ah, Dr. Cassar, you know, this is Japan, okay? Your product have lots of chemical in it. No, 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 we have lots of things we put in it so a lot of different people can't figure out what's in it. How about that? Okay, so anyways, perfumes are super toxic. And I knew this a long time ago. Like I said, watch a lot of the videos that we have on just tips of the day. Each one of the tips of the day is to lighten down your load of toxicity, just because maybe it puts a little light bulb in your head. And if it doesn't, that's fine too. Pass it on and go look at the next one. But toxicity, remember, is in many things that you couldn't even imagine. Your new car smell, remember, think of that. It's full of benzene, formaldehyde, all the off-gassing from all the plastics. So you like a new car? Maybe so. I don't. Personally, I've owned a couple hundred cars in my life, and I've never even bought a new car, ever. Ever. Why should I buy a new car when I can buy one maybe a year old or 2 years old that someone's taken to the warranty place 20 times to get fixed, right? Or whatever it is, just to go ahead and clean it up. As long as they took care of it, I don't need to lose 35% as soon as I drive it off the lot. It's just not me, okay? So, you know, health's the same way. You got to look at what's the best thing for you in the long term, okay? And learning detoxification, parasitology is very, very important. And no one really wants to talk about this because it does take time to learn. And you have to learn from people that's what they do. They just study this stuff day and night. I've been studying these areas of health and wellness, okay, in a lot of different areas that are interesting to me, to find out the trickery that's everywhere. Okay, trickery. And if you can't see the trickery, guys, it's only because maybe you don't want to admit you've been tricked. If you're overweight, you've been tricked. If you're taking medication, you've been tricked. Why? It's because you can change that very easily, okay, by doing what you haven't done to yourself over time. So, anyways, accidental health. Let's get Hodo. You want to come, Hodo? You want to come? Here, I got to turn the camera this way, because otherwise he won't come. He doesn't like the camera. Come on, Hodo. Okay, give me a kiss first before we go flying. What do you think today? Beautiful day, huh? Look at it out there. Super nice today. Look at real clouds everywhere. Look at that. Okay, you want to fly? Okay, ready? 1, 2, he knows. 3. Okay, there he goes. We're going to go see the turtles and the sheep up here because they're not supposed to be in this pasture. Hey, Hodo, look. Smell that. Let's see if we can get you in the camera. That's a gardenia. Don't eat it because it's poisonous, but oh, does that smell good, huh? There we go. Oh, does that smell good, huh? Okay, one more time. 1, 2, 3. He loves flying. And he's just holding on to me, and he's got full wings. He can fly away anytime he wants to, but he chooses to stay with his dad. Okay, you guys, what are you doing in here? You're not supposed to be with the turtles and the ducks and the turkeys, is because they got different parasites that are going to make you sick. So let's put you back in the other pasture. Okay, check these guys out. Okay. Look at this guy. This is like a 250 pound, 300 pound, he's solid African cicada, and we've done other videos on him before just to be able to see this magnificent creature. Remember, from the Big Bang Theory, it just came from nothing. Sure thing. And if you buy into that, it just means you paid a lot of money for school. That's all it does. You believe in these types of ideas. Okay, look, the turkey. Yeah, she came from the Big Bang Theory too. And the sheep and everything. This is a cherry tree. And let's see if we can find, I've been eating off this thing for a couple months. Here's one right here. And these are heirloom cherries. And they're super good. Wipe this guy off a little bit. Here's the female turkey. Brings me back to eating cherries with my mom. Buy cherries at the store, right? And each of these heirloom cherries have 1, 2, 3 seeds each. Always. You guys want the seeds? Check out this guy, man. What a beauty, huh? Big Bang Theory again. And that's his wife right there. Remember, they both look pretty much the same, right? Sort of ugly from the neck down. You're ugly from the neck down. That's an old saying. Why? It's because that's the turkey. Remember, his body's beautiful. His feathers, look at him. Every feather is lifted up. Each one's a muscle. And he's just protecting his girl. And you guys looking at yourselves? Check it out. Last time I showed him this, remember he snapped his wing at me. It's because he's looking at himself in the camera. And he knocked my camera and watch that video on the turkey. He snapped his wing and my camera went flying in the air. Okay, look at, here's the other turtle. Because the turtles, what they do is they break the fence. She's pregnant, she's ready to have a baby. Look at this guy. Now this guy's way bigger than the other one. What's up, buddy? And he's got to be like 300 to 350, and he is just solid. And he goes right through the fence if he wants to, so he's broke the gate over there because he wants to come in here with his other buddy, 2 males. And he rolls the other turkey over on his back all the time. Okay, you guys, come on, let's go. Go on, you guys know. Go on, shh, shh. Here's some of the little babies. Yeah, I just don't want them in here because I don't want them to get sick from the different parasites. Look at all the oranges on this tree. It's so nice to grow your own food. Have a little homestead yourself. Go on. There you go, buddy. Look at this guy did to the fence, man. That's the turtle. He destroyed this thing. Look at this. All right, buddy. Jesus. Okay, well, I guess we'll have to fix that later. He's just destroyed the whole bloody thing. So, we might as well go on this side over here anyways. Anyways, okay. Now we're in the avocado grove. These are avocados, avocados, avocados. These are a citrus, sweet and sour citrus. You bite into them and they're sour on the outside or on the inside and sweet on the shell. Avocados, avocados. Okay, anyways. So, accidental health is impossible. Go to the city and you can check it out for yourselves. Remember, you go to the city, what do you see? You see a lot of sick people. You see a lot of children that you would never see in the 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s. You wouldn't see little fatty kids, little chubbies. It's because of the foods they're eating. It's because of all the chemicals that are, well, making them lose their testosterone, changing their hormones, okay? Remember, parents, it's up to you. You brought these children in this world, and I know this world's a weird place, right? You can either put your head in the sand or you can navigate it, right? Play chess and navigate. If the system does something to you, right, what do you have to do? Not fight it back, you have to navigate. If the system is pushing something on you, then you need to investigate. It's because, remember, this place is a farm. My farm here is my farm, and it's got fences all over the place, right? In the United States, you can just look at it as a big farm. Each state has little fences in between where you got to go to the state borders and pass. But if you want to go into Canada, right, remember you have to be able to leave your farm to go into another farm. And you need certain papers to be able to, well, leave your farm. And you can only stay away from your farm just for a short period of time. So we are fed, we are watered every day, and it is up to us to be able to figure out what to eat and what not to eat. This is a cinnamon tree here. I've showed you guys this before, but this sucker's massive. Look at this thing. And you can see beautiful leaves. And if you just crack that thing, here, let me just take one off. And these have such a beautiful smell. Oh, cinnamon. So you can take these, put them in your tea. You can make a lot of different types of tinctures with this. Remember, every plant has its specificity of, look at all the coconuts up there, specificity of different types of poisons that the plant puts in itself to be able to fight off against disease, fungi, bacteria, even animals. If it doesn't taste good, right, they won't eat it. You can see the sheep ate all the, everything on the bottom, everything they can get their, you know, their size up to. Okay, but in time, you're going to find out, okay, health is not accidental. You're going to have to dig deep in this world here to be able to figure out not only what to eat, but a lot of the different booby traps, as I call them, that are everywhere. Booby traps. Here, put one of these two-way transmitters up to the side of your head. That's a booby trap, right? Put chlorine in your hot tub and your pool. That's a booby trap. Take showers with fluoride every day. Drink tap water and drink the commercial water. Remember, these are booby traps. And if you can't see through the booby traps and navigate, then what happens is in time you become sick. And if you're overweight, guys, you're sick. That's just the way it is. Okay? If you're taking medication, you're sick. That's the way it is. And I'm talking medication for anything. I don't care if it's for sleeping. Doesn't matter if it's because you feel depressed and you went to the doctor, right? And just because you go to the doctor doesn't mean that the doctor is going to give you the right thing to do to get yourself better. It's always the convenient thing we want. Remember, you want the pill, okay, to be your answer instead of change your lifestyle. And if you think that magic pill, remember, you got to go think, you know how many people are addicted just to Xanax alone? Remember, it used to be Valium. All the housewives, remember, all the mothers were all stuck on Valium. They're all high on Valium and drinking wine with Valium in the afternoon. I heard the turkey. Okay, then you got Ambien, right? Then you've got Xanax, and you've got these drugs, all different types, opioids, okay, all different Vicodin, pain pills, antidepressants. Remember, these are all addictive petrochemical synthetic drugs. Do you know if you just exercise and really intensely exercise, you'll reformat all your brain chemicals and you will feel much better for another day to 2 days. So if you're feeling depressed, there's lots of things that you can do. One of the things is, remember, shut off all your wireless at night or just don't use it at all. Okay, don't use it at all. So there's lots to talk about always, and there's lots of new things that are coming down the pike, as they say. Oh, someone's here, it's peeping the horn. Okay, so you're just gonna have to figure it out and navigate. And if you navigate and do the correct navigation, then you get a chance to live less sick. Let's see. I think. Yo! Okay. You'll be less sick. All right, let me shut this off. Okay, to continue this where we ended up. You can see I got some barbed wire cut there. Got some nice purplish red blood there, burgundy. So accidental health. It's impossible nowadays for you to be able to have accidental health, okay? When you look at all the statistics of just the obesity that's going on, in Hawaii here, 1 out of 2 people have diabetes. Why is the question? Why is the question? So if I just wanted to really not care about, remember, I've been practicing since 1984. I graduated medical school and seen a lot of people, over 100,000 patient office visits, crazy, over a 15-year period. And what I found out is a lot of people that just don't want to do any of the work, okay? Any of the work. You got to learn to be able to go ahead and put things in your lifestyle instead of just going to a doctor when you feel sick or you want to go for a checkup and they tell you that your cholesterol is a little high and want to put you on a statin drug. Okay, remember, the information that you're going to have to look at in the future is researched information, which means you're going to have to question everything that you're told. Okay, a lot of people are misinformed, and just because you have a degree doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. Okay, just because you have a degree. What does it mean? That you're smart? Maybe. Okay, you had the smartness to be able to memorize whatever you wanted to memorize in your brain. And take a test, whether if it's real or not. Remember, it's just facts that they want to show you, just like an IQ test. That doesn't tell you pretty much anything unless you got a pretty good memory of a bunch of garbage that basically you're supposed to know. Okay, that they told you. And maybe a lot of the things that they told you is not true. So if you're taking an IQ test, if someone really knows about a lot of things, that's not going to make any sense because it doesn't show any critical thinking. It doesn't show any problem solving. It doesn't show any of those things that would actually, look at how beautiful this is from here. It wouldn't show you anything that would show you that you have intelligence. Intelligence. Okay? Being smart, maybe you're just a smart ass. Okay? It's because you got a lot of good information in your head that you paid for, right? You got a PhD piled higher and deeper in a lot of areas that mean nothing. It's because it's all theory. Hyper-theoretical, everything. Okay? Gravity theory, relativity theory, Big Bang theory. Okay? How a blade of grass works theory. How the heart works, how the eye focuses. Look at my eye. It focuses everywhere I look. It's a beautiful video camera, right? And then no one knows how it works. We can watch it. You don't know how it works, guys. And if you want to explain it to me, then, well, you're just giving me a theory. And or that's why they have books. Most of the books that we read as doctors and different people that are actually teachers, we're just parroting information that we think is true. And when you go to school, they don't tell you this is all theory. They don't tell you. And if it is, they'll tell you one or two things in the very beginning, and the rest seems like it's fact because you're testing me on all this crap. And you're expecting me to be able to learn your theories. And all you're doing is putting a bunch of information in my head that's going to confuse me as I get older. So think of your brain as like a memory chip, right? Like a computer. And if you fill it with a bunch of social media, with a bunch of pictures, with a bunch of videos, your hard drive, your memory starts to get full. Computer starts to run slow. Everything needs to be defragged, right? You need to go through and clean the computer up, okay? Remove so-called its viruses and reset the whole machine, okay? The more memory sometimes that you have, the more junk you can put on it. But a lot of people, remember, you're born with not the greatest memory. That's why you can't think of too much as far as remember a lot of things. Okay, you may read things and have a little bit of a recall 5 minutes after you read it, and then 20 minutes after you read it, you've had a lot less recall. And the next day, you can't even remember pretty much what you read. And that's a lot of people. So think of like you're born into the system here and you only have so much memory in your drive and you put a bunch of crap into your brain. Remember, reading, writing, and arithmetic, those are real skills to master. Reading, writing, and arithmetic. Master those skills. Okay? That's the way it is. What are they going to teach you in his story? Okay? History. What are they going to teach you in a lot of science classes? Remember, Scientology, scientism, what are they going to teach you? You're going to have to sift through all this stuff here, and if you're parents, guys, you're going to have to keep an eye out for your children. It's because they're going to believe just like everybody else does about a lot of things. Remember, health is not accidental. Okay? If you live in a place where there's 1,000 assaults in every corner. Remember, trickery is everywhere. Taking a shower every day in fluoride, you need to fix that trickery. Okay, if you don't think fluoride is bad for you, or glyphosate is bad for you, or just chlorine is bad for you, then put a drop a day in with some mice that you raise and see what happens if you put a drop of glyphosate in their water. Even once a week, see what happens to them. I already did. I'm not asking you to do it, but you can go ahead and do it real simple. Okay, you can do a lot of experiments going through science school to prove that the chemicals that we are using, okay, are very damaging to these small animals. So, you know, you want to be smart. They're pushing, remember, don't eat meat, is because, well, of all the carbon it's produced, right? Okay, this grass, no matter if it's eaten or not, is going to die. It turns into methane. It's just what it is. It's part of the degradation system here. The plants suck up the CO2, and it's plant food, and they thrive with CO2. It's why guys that grow cannabis, they give the plants more CO2 so they can grow better, right? Look at, these are kumquats. Thing's got 1,000 of them on there. So there's secrets in every system. And there's a lot of dysfunction also in every system. So as you get older, this is the problem. Unless, you know, you have done your homework throughout your life and navigated slightly in the areas of health, just slightly. And just because someone says to eat, you know, like on the food pyramid, right, to eat all these pastas and grains and bread and all this crap, okay? That's, remember, this isn't 200 years ago when you could have accidental health. Is because there was no chemicals back then. They didn't have a lot of the poisons, any of the poisons that are present today. Of course you had parasites back then. Remember, your body gets parasites because it gets bloody weak, because it gets toxic, because it's been stressed, right? Thinking every day about money, thinking every day about surviving. And of course you had to survive back then, but at least you were surviving in a homestead that the only stress you would get is from the outside world, and the stress that you would get by putting fences up and doing farming, of course, is not stress, it's just work. Stress is when you sit behind a computer, okay, and all you do is use your mind. So stress has nothing to do with you working, in my sense. But stress has a lot to do with, look at all the little babies. Everybody's taking a rest now. And you can see everybody's chewing their cud, see them? See, look at the little baby, see them chewing? There we go. So remember, these are herbivores, and they can eat grass all day long. What's up, buddies? They eat grass all day, and then they sit down and rest, and you can see they're all chewing their cud. Not all of them, but most of them are. So when they're chewing like that, remember, they're regurgitating their gut and re-chewing up material, putting in their enzymes that they produce to break down all these oxalates, to break down all of this insoluble bioavailable systems that are in grass, that are in leaves. Okay, they process these foods. We can't do that. We don't have fermented chambers. You have a little tiny appendix, that's your fermented chamber. That's nothing. Remember, an ape has a huge fermented chamber in their colon, in the bottom side of the intestinal tract. Okay, this is what lets them break down this grass. And of course, monkeys eat 2-3 pounds of insects a day. They'll eat anything. They'll even eat meat too. Okay, it's just what it is. People think that they only eat blueberries and stuff like that. No, they'll eat what they want. They're the king of the jungle. So, but anyways, you know, health is not an accident for me to be able to have these sheep. I have to worm these guys every 6 months. That's why you see everybody's looking pretty darn healthy, right? They're having babies, right? And everybody's breeding here. They're all breeding. Look, this one's eating a kumquat here. You like that thing? This one's called this type of sheep, she's called shoot, now I forgot the name of it. Starts with a B. Anyways, but she looks like a deer. I was going to say baboso, but that's a word in Spanish. Baboso. Bambino, something like that, but it's not that. Anyways. So, you know, if I don't give these animals clean water, then they'll get sick. If I don't worm them because they're in domestication, they'll get sick. Okay? And once one gets an infection, of course they're pooping everywhere and everybody else gets it. So that's why when they broke into the to the ducks and turtles over there. I don't want them mixing with them, is because they can pass some pretty nasty parasites to them. Pretty nasty. You can see all these other sheep over here. What's up, Mama? So that's a big breadfruit tree right there. You can see all the breadfruit. That's the first thing they do when I put them in this pasture, is they run under that tree and they see if they can find a breadfruit to eat. What's up, little Bubba? So, you know, again, how much time we got here? 11 minutes. Nothing's accidental. If, you know, you're talking about health, you got to work at it. And that's the bottom line to this video. Okay? And most people, like I said, if I want to get sick, all I have to do is go to the store and look at a sick person overweight, a person that just looks sick, and buy what they buy in their shopping cart. How about that? I'm going to buy the Twinkies, the Ho-Hos, I'm going to buy the Hot Pockets, I'm going to buy all the different types of things that are super processed. Chemicals, who cares? If it's on sale, even better. Okay, and I know a lot of people don't have a lot of money, but that means that you should never, ever go out and buy coffee, because all the coffee, and I won't even say the names of the famous coffee place. I go to a coffee place the other day, okay, because somebody wanted to get a coffee, so we go into Starbucks there, right? Not one thing in the whole bloody place that is organic. That's ridiculous. Not one thing. Okay, no organic coffee, no organic tea, no organic milk, no organic nothing. So what is there to eat in there? And $6, $7, $8 for a glass of sugar water? Hot sugar water, right? And some people like the ice water. Okay, with sugar in it. And how many chemicals are in that stuff? Who knows? I know what it takes to be a coffee farmer. You got to spray the crap out of those, out of any crop, that if you want to get huge yields. If you're organic, you get way less yields. It's because there's a lot of things that are going to damage your trees. Okay, the chemicals do work, but they destroy the land. They destroy the people's health who eats the food that the chemicals were sprayed on. You know, the picture's big. One thing you want to get out of, you know, if you're a newbie here, this is what I'm talking about, is most people that are newbies. Guys, you need to have minerals in your body. You need to have foods that are bioavailable in your body. And if you don't have that much money, you're better off going to the store, buying yourself a half a pound of ground beef and having a couple of eggs. That's way better than going to McDonald's and having one of their, or Burger King, Murder King, right? Whatever it is. You want to go to these, you know, Taco Hell with their beans that are full of, again, phytates, okay, phytic acid, anti-nutrients. These are components in the plants if they're not processed correctly, and if they're in the plants, well, then you can't absorb the minerals in the food that you just ate. So it tasted good, but you got nothing out of it, and not only that, your body doesn't even know what to do with it, because most of it is synthetic crap. Okay? Oh, it's a flour tortilla. Yeah, look and see how many ingredients are in that flour tortilla instead of just flour, sugar, and water. Go look at it. Look at the list, about this big, just on a tortilla thing. Okay, sodium, benzenate, this, all different preservatives, different types of things that they add to the food, and, you know, chemical vitamins, is because it has nothing in it. Remember, when you eat potatoes, what do you think you're eating? It's just to fill your gut up. And it does fill your gut up, and at least if you go to bed at night with a full gut, then maybe you'll get up in the morning and figure it out a little better. But at least you didn't go to bed with a hungry belly, right? In order to get healthy, guys, you got to put in a lot of time, and you got to do a lot of research, and you got to get sick too, just like I have. I've had many sicknesses where I had to figure it out. I had to figure it out personally. And that's why I can, is because, remember, this is my daytime and nighttime job. But if you're an average person, then good luck. You're going to have to go to somebody with a white jacket on, okay? And if you go to the emergency, they will help you and probably maybe even save you in certain ways. But any other system in that hospital, you got to watch it. Okay, remember, my dad ran 25 hospitals for National Medical Enterprises. Okay, he wasn't a doctor, he's an accountant, he's a CPA, he's an administrator, he's a money guy. He's one that figures out that, okay, I didn't even know. All these hospitals are all private entities. Okay, what do you think they are? Okay, nonprofit organizations? No, they're for profit. And if you're in the hospital, then the hospital's making money. Just like if you're in jail, okay, those are private jails, then that entity is making money, right? They're businesses. They're corporations. They're not for free. They're for profit. So that's a bad combination. How could you run a hospital and be for profit if you expect people, okay, you make money off of sickness. You don't make money off of health. You make money off of sickness. Okay? Yeah, I didn't even know. My dad told me this. You know, same with the police, right? If you're a doctor and you work in the hospital, a lot of hospitals will tell you, they make the rules up, right? You want to work in my hospital, I need to have 300 bed visits out of you a year. Okay, and if you've got some patients in those beds, then keep them a couple days longer. Make sure you go ahead and you order your blood work. I want it stat. Now, we get charged 3 or 4 times more through the insurance company. If I do it stat, means I want it in a hurry. Okay, most likely it'll get done the same time, right? Make sure they get multiple different types of not only therapies, but scans. CT scans, MRI scans, all different types of medications and drugs that sometimes will cost $1,000 to $10,000 a month. Remember, did you know that chemotherapy is a money-making business for the oncologists? They make 25, 30, 40, I've even heard up to 50%. They buy the chemo themselves and they mark it up. Did you know that? So it's a benefit for the doctor to go ahead and give you that type of treatment. Okay? That type of treatment. Pretty weird. Remember, the hospitals are not nonprofit organizations. They are machines. They're the processors of death. Once the system can go ahead and squeeze as much as it can out of you. Shoot, when I got my snake bite, okay, I got bit by the viper, a twin venom snake, which usually kills everybody or like get their arm cut off or anyways. I was in the hospital for 6 days, okay, and I took 66 vials of anti-venom in intensive care. My bills were $100,000 a day, okay, just so you know. Just to lay in that bed and to have an IV. $100,000 a day. And I remember the insurance company, they paid out like $480,000, my Blue Cross. Crazy. For 6 days. And the hospital wanted even more from me. So, which I called them up and negotiated it, and of course they let me off. Why? I said, man, you guys made all this money. I was only there for 6 days, and all You know, my father actually, the hospital I was in, my father used to work at that hospital, Los Robles Medical Center, and so you know, they gave me a discount. It means I didn't have to pay for anything other than what my insurance paid. Okay, so thanks, Dad. Got me that. If not, I would have had to pay like $50,000 or something ridiculous out of my pocket. Anyways, it's a business, just so you know. Is health accidental? And you can say, hell no. Hell no, it ain't accidental. You got to work on it. Okay? Okay, I guess that's enough anyways. So learn a lot of the protocols, practices, and principles. Remember, terrain modification is an easy way for you to be able to upgrade, enhance, and optimize your world. And there is a lot of toxicity in our world, so you got to learn detoxification in many departments. Go up to the eartheracademy.com, go to the detoxification tab, press it, and you'll see all these subcategories. Okay? These are things that you want to learn. Remember, you want to lose weight, then quit eating crap, okay, and exchange the foods that you were getting ripped off anyways, because it's all crap. You're not getting anything out of it except some flavor of some chemicals, some MSG to make you fat, some preservatives to put pressure on your kidney, and maybe, well, a ton of glyphosate and different types of pesticides, insecticides, and herbicides that are laced in the conventional foods. So health is not accidental, and you're going to have to, like I said, look into a lot of stuff. The wireless is a big problem. Okay? Do some research on it. Can't keep saying the stuff over and over again, but I see people all day long, man. You're just killing yourself slowly. It just is. You know, I go to the store and I still see 50% of the people in the store wearing diapers. Okay? All old people, no young people. All older people, scared out of their bejesus, right? Okay, because they're watching too much television. So if you got stress in your life, shut the bloody television off. Shut all your social media off. You don't need to go ahead and have social media. You got a business, it's one thing, but you don't need social media to show everybody an ice cream cone and to show everybody how you're so happy, but you're really not. But you smiled really good and you did what you needed to do to show everybody that you're having maybe a better time than they are. Making people do what? Feel bad? Okay, so anyways, don't watch any of that stuff if you're depressed. If you're not depressed, then you're just wasting your time. Maybe you got better things to do. You do. Work out 3 times a week. Okay, remember, invest into your health. Invest into your house. That's your sanctuary. Instead of buying an Xbox, maybe why don't you get a distiller? Or an RO water system, so you don't have to be a minion and buy water bottles anymore. I don't even know when the last time I bought water bottles is. This is when I went on vacation, when I have to. Otherwise, why would I pay $2, $3, $4 a gallon for water? Costs as much as fuel. Remember, what fool in the world is buying water? A lot of them. Make your own water, it's free. Yeah, it takes a little energy, okay, for a distiller. Okay, so it'll cost you $30 a month to run your distiller to get all the water that you need. Okay, and if you don't want to pay for the distiller, that's the purest water, then get yourself a good reverse osmosis system. And if you've got fluoride in your water, and if you don't know, then call up the water company and ask them to give you a certificate of analysis of the water. You want to know about the lead, the arsenic, the thallium. You want to know about the amount of glyphosate if they have those tests. You want to know about the amount of atrazine, okay, which is an herbicide. And if they don't have that test available that they give out normally, then ask them. Say, do you guys have tests that you do, which you know they do, on trichloramines and all these different pieces, okay, that you want to be able to see because you're sensitive to these chemicals and you want to make sure that, you know, you're getting the right water filter. So distillation, remember, gets rid of the pesticides, insecticides, herbicides, fluoride, all the petrochemicals, including the pharmaceuticals that are in your tap water. Okay, the pesticides that are in your tap water, how'd they get there? Doesn't matter, they're there. Okay, so you're going to need if you do a distiller, you don't need anything. It's just basically you're going to have pure 0.0000 parts per million water. Dry water, I call it, and it's going to clean you out. It's good. Okay, it's not going to steal the minerals from your body, so don't worry about that. It's going to break down the ones that aren't in free flow. Okay, a lot of people have a lot of oxalates in their body. Calcium oxalates are from the foods that you eat, mostly. Remember, kale, spinach, cacao, almonds, rhubarb. I mean, there's so many foods that are loaded full of oxalates. And these oxalates are what's called oxalic acid, and they combine with calcium and they make calcium oxalates, which are kidney stones, gallstones, arteriosclerosis, atherosclerosis, different types of sorenesses in the muscle, brain calcification. This is what it is. What does the distilled water do? It starts eating up at that calcification. Slowly, a little bit at a time. As you got infected, a little bit at a time. Your body's turning to stone. It's getting stiff. It's because your body's got tons of oxalates in it. Tons. So when you start actually cleaning up your body, you start getting sore. Your body starts to feel like all of a sudden it needs to be lubed. So stretch a lot. Get a rolling pin and roll your spine and your body every night. I do every night. Okay, so once you start detoxing, you find out a lot of times that different areas of your body are starting to get sore. Massage them out. You can do self-massage, right? Just like self-service when you go to the you go to the gas station. Okay, pump it yourself. Massage yourself. Look, massage yourself. Use the fingertips. Get in there. Put a little oil on there, okay? And work the tendons if it's sore. I mean, really work that stuff in there deep. You got fingers. You don't have to go pay somebody $60 an hour to do it. Maybe find a friend and you guys can trade. You don't have to touch each other. You can use some of the techniques we show each other, how to step on each other. So you don't have to get all frenzy. And keep your bloody clothes off if you want to not worry about getting sexual. All right? Because I know there's a lot of weird stuff when you get massages. It's because it opens up that world, right? Someone's touching you. So keep your clothes on and it won't happen. Okay, enough. Health is not accidental. And again, don't learn the secrets of staying healthy, the secrets of longevity, the secrets when you get the flu, the secrets when you get a cold or infected. Watch the video, What I Do When I Get the Flu. There's a lot of information in that. Read the description. There's a lot of information that's private. Okay, Earthroot Academy, $10 a month. We're just, you know, we charge a tiny bit of money, cancel any time, and it's just to be able to keep the wheels rolling. Okay? I don't live off that stuff, as you can see. You think Earthroot Academy bought me all these places? Come on, guys. It's something I like to do, especially when I see trickery everywhere. And remember, it's all an experiment. Everybody's doing the best that they know how to do, at least, well, some people. Most people are not doing the best that they know how to do, is because all you have to do is, again, take your clothes off and look in the mirror and see if you have been tricked. If you've gained body fat, you've been tricked by the foods you're eating, by the estrogen that's in your foods, the estrogen that's the chemicals that are in your processed boxes, cartons, plastic bottles, okay, your perfumes, your fragrances. These are all estrogens. So quit it. But I didn't know. Well, like I said, I try to put out videos a lot, but again, people are just very either sedated, lazy, confused. You just can't concentrate more than 5 minutes on anything. You have to, you know, your phone's dinging all the time and you're getting distracted. Shut the bloody thing off. If you want to watch the television, then watch an hour and don't watch the news. Forget about the news. Remember, it's all story to get you scared, fear, doubt, uncertainty. It's because there's no joy, bliss, and happiness on that thing. It's always poor this, victim this, race this, politics this, okay, blowing this up, this, that. Okay, forget it. You're already stressed out. You don't need to see that stuff. Just, again, doing it to yourself. And that's part of getting healthy, is to shut off the world for maybe 6 months. It's not going to change whether you think you know about things or not. It's not going to change. Worry about your world. Worry about your relationships in your life. Okay? And see if you can clean yourself up first, and then maybe you'll feel good about maybe wanting to help others clean themselves up, because you can see everybody's, not everybody, but most people that I see, you need to be wormed, guys. You need to do heavy metal detoxification. You need to do plastic detoxification. You need to do remineralization and quit eating the vegan schmegan diet. That's a good diet for about a month, maybe a couple of months or so, just to be able to feel the weakness that you're going to get. The testosterone. Remember, you're going to be like this, guys, being vegan. What does that mean? You figure it out. Okay, you're going to lose your hormones. And you get the bent finger. Okay, you're not interested in any activity, sexual activity, work activity, creative activity, inspirational activity, because testosterone does all that for you. Okay, it just does. Okay, that's enough. Time to go get fix the bloody fence here. 350 pounds going through the fence. You can see what he did. Cost me $200 to get a new fence. You can see I had I put these big poles all over the ground here just so he wouldn't go through before. And shoot, he broke them all over the place. He wants to get through, he will. And again, what a beautiful thing to have food at your table. What a beautiful thing. And it's nicest to be able to see, look, all of this is food for herbivores. It's not food for us. We can't break any of that stuff down. Remember, this has got oxalates in it. You can feel the shrouds, the sharpness in here. The sheep don't like to eat the bigger leaves. It's because they got little spines on them. Those are oxalic acid spines. I can feel them right here. It's sharp on the edges. Look at that. Stuff will cut you. So what do you think's in that stuff? Okay, these are the defense mechanisms of plants because they don't want everything eating them. If not, there wouldn't be anything that's left. I mean, you look at a palm tree, look at how beautiful that palm tree is. Does it look like anything's eating it? It's because it's got a lot of different types of plant poisons that's present naturally in that plant. So nothing can eat it. Nothing eats it. Okay? Is anybody eating this orange leaf right here? Okay, it needs some minerals, you can see, right? It's got a little yellow in it, a little yellow, so that means it needs more nitrogen versus this plant right here. It's got a lot of nitrogen. Okay, that one right there, it's lacking. So I got to go through and give everybody some chicken poop. And the ones that are close to where I feed the animals, look at how green that avocado tree is. It's because that's where I feed everybody, and everybody's pooping right there. And everybody lives under this longan tree right here, and you can see that thing is huge and green because they live in the trees and they poop all on the ground. And they make the plants grow with their bacteria. It's not even the poop, it's the probiotics in the soil. And if you spray Roundup or pesticides or any chemical down there, you just destroy the soil. You kill all the worms, you kill all the insects. And just by going vegan thinking, guys, you think you're saving animals? Do you know what it takes to be able to make a crop of broccoli, a crop of cauliflower, a crop of bloody corn? You know how many pesticides, insecticides, and herbicides and things that are put on that land just so you can get a conventional crop of that garbage? So you talk about animals. If you ate a half a pound of meat a day, okay, you're going to eat about a half an animal a year, a cow. That's it. But if you have an acre, or 10 acres or 100 acres, okay, of plants that you're commercially farming, not in your backyard, commercially farming, you kill every rat, mouse, you kill the foxes, the owls, you poison everything on that land, and nothing will grow on that land unless you put chemical fertilizer on it after you've sprayed the crap out of it for a couple of seasons. Nothing will grow. So that's the scam. You put chemical fertilizers under the trees, you spray Roundup underneath to kill all the microbiome, and now if you stop using that, these trees, okay, they have been shut down on a lot of their different types of cycles to be able to make bioavailability of the soil. Remember, there's microbes in the soil that produce fulvic acid. The fulvic acid breaks down the soil so the plants can go ahead and absorb it. This is what distilled water does too from the sky. It comes down and it breaks apart the minerals so the plants can eat. The world is fed by distilled water, pure water. It's not mountain spring water. Remember, mountain spring water's got a lot of rocks in it, so watch it. And if you're eating phytic acid, okay, phytates, phytic acid, remember it's in all these plants, you're just giving yourself kidney stones because you're having mountain spring water full of calcium, okay, full of different minerals, and then you have certain acids that you're putting in your body. Oxalic acid, okay, comes from the spinach. Remember, look up oxalates. I did a video explaining deeply the on using EDTA, ethylene diamine tetracetic acid. I've done about 5 videos, how to make EDTA cream, how to use EDTA in an enema, drinking, how to be able to soak your feet. Remember, get a lot of toxicity. Ethylene diamine tetracetic acid dissolves a lot of the heavy metals, or binds to them, chelates them is what it does, doesn't dissolve them. And now all you have to do is figure out how to get them out of your body, right? But we all are holding and accumulating. So if you're not doing any of this detox work, then you'll be like the rest of the people in the city. Everybody's overweight, everybody's sick, everybody's on pharmaceuticals, everybody's putting a two-wave transmitter up to their head, okay? All they do is they got their head in their phone all bloody day long, okay? You want to be like that? It's up to you. Personally, I don't like that. It's because I like to live life in a clean environment, so I feel good. If I am living in a clean environment, then my environment's not poisoning me by every breath. Okay? I'm in a clean environment in my ears too. Listen. Hear birds. I can hear the waterfall. I can hear crickets. I don't hear any cars. I don't hear any noise, any airplanes. All I hear is, you can call it God's creations, right? Whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. The natural world has its sound to it. And it's not what you hear in the city. That's a complete bloody disease. Okay, we're going. Look at all the lemons on this tree. Whew! All right, we'll see you guys. Aloha, and take care of yourselves. Okay.